Alrighty guys and gals, welcome back to Houston Kilp YouTube channel. We're going to be working on the motorhome today. We've got an action-packed episode for y'all. We're going to be working on the hitch. We're going to be working on trailer brake setup, what it takes to make this thing tow this trailer back here. And then also, once we get done with that, we're going to be working on some exhaust leaks that's going on and putting an air filter on this deal. So let's get after it. Let's get this thing ready for the race. Alright guys, so we've got our trailer, and y'all know we just got our RV, which I'm thinking Hannah's pretty solid to saying it's going to be named Cousin Eddie. Is that what we're thinking?
I mean, it's going to have to be.
It just has to be. We haven't heard anything any better. Cousin Eddie's getting pretty strong here.
Oh, that's an RV. Yeah. I borrowed it off a buddy of mine. He took my house, I took the RV.
Alright, so how do you pull a trailer? First things first, you do have to have a receiver hitch, okay? Ours, we were lucky and this thing already had one on it, and it is rated enough to pull this thing. The other thing you need to make sure you got is trailer hookups. Hannah, come on over in here.
Get his whiskers out of the way.
Alright, so this is what you call a 7-pin. At minimum, that's what you're going to need to pull a trailer if your trailer has brakes on it, and ours does. Okay, so for us, when we bought this thing, it had a hook up here, but I'll show you guys what it actually had in it, because we've got to take this thing to a place in Kingsport and get some wiring done on it to fix the hookup that was in there. So we'll go take it and get this thing fixed, and then we'll get back on this part right here, and I'll show you guys what we got to do to this to get it matched up with this so our trailer is level. Stay tuned. Okay. Alrighty guys and gals, so if you want to pull a trailer with your motorhome, this is one place right here to come out and do. This is A1 Hitch Repair. I've used them a couple of times now, and you can get your propane here and all that good stuff. So hitch repair, hitch fixes, you need to get trailers wired up. They got one right over here. It's about to get wired up too. This is the place to be. So used them several times and I appreciate them. So let's go in here and get the motorhome. Okay guys, so right now we are adjusting the height of this bad boy right here. Okay, so we have adjustments here that we can make in order to get this trailer to ride level. You want your trailer to ride level. You don't want it angling forward. If it's angling forward in the front, it puts a ton of stress on your RV and stuff. So you want to get it as level as possible. So that's what we're doing here now. Alright, we're just going one bolt hole.
I'll take a step back and look at that.
Well, we're going to have to put the trailer on this thing and put the weight on it and see what it does.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
That tricked me last time pretty dang good.
Okay.
So. Alright guys, so we ended up getting the bus and the trailer leveled out with each other, and we got it all adjusted and stuff there. One thing to keep in mind with these motorhomes, mine is on airbags, so when you start it up, it does raise up. So be aware of that when you go to level it out. So just because it looks level without the motorhome running, it may be different once you fire the motorhome up, and that's what we end up finding out as well. Alright guys, got ourselves a cool Permatex moment here. So this is our trailer connection right here going into our motorhome, and I've found in the past, if you put some of this stuff right here, it'll help keep this stuff from getting corroded up and stuff like that, because most of the time your trailer connection just sits outside, and that's not good. So I take some of this stuff and I just put it in all the little areas just like that, and bingo bango guys. All right, guys, I do highly suggest getting you one of these bad boys right here. This is a lifesaver right here. So what you can do with this is you plug this in to your trailer hookups, okay? And them little lights right there can let you know, do you have 12 volts on it? Is your driving lights on? Is your right hand turn signal working? Is your left hand turn signal working? Etc., etc. Backup lights, brake lights, all that stuff. And that way you can segregate it right here on your bus, your truck, whatever, before trying to figure out, is it the trailer that's the problem? So handy tool right here. Highly suggest getting one. You can find these at most truck stops, and even Amazon has got these things as well. All right, so this is part of our new brake controller right there. It's the Prodigy system. Those things work pretty good. All right, so how that thing works is you have to have a constant 12 volt wire down here on your trailer hookups, okay? Some of these RVs, and that includes mine, all right, it only had a 5-pin connector on it from the factory, okay? So that just handled literally brake lights and backup lights and turn signals is all that handled. The 7-pin connector, that's when you can actually start controlling electric brakes on your trailer, okay? So what you have to do is, we got that connector converted into a true 7-pin connector, okay? But they have to run a constant 12 volt to it, okay? And then now you hook up that Prodigy box that's down there, okay? And now you just use a regular handheld controller up in the bus up there. And I'll put a little picture up here. There's no wires you've got to run up to the bus or anything like that. It literally just piggybacks off of everything that's there. It's really clean, really easy to do. No extra wiring besides just making sure your 7-pin connector is wired up correctly. But it's as simple as that. And so how that works is your handheld controller programs that box into how aggressive you want these brakes to be. And once you've got it programmed, you literally just push the brakes on your RV and it takes care of this back here. You don't have to do anything extra after that, but you just have to get how aggressive adjusted out of the handheld depending on how violently you want the brakes to come on, because it'll, right out of the box, it'll lock them up in a heartbeat as soon as you go to push the brakes. But I put it on the least aggressive setting and it seemed to fix all that, and it worked good, and it didn't get the trailer brakes too hot or any of that. So just a little tidbit there if you guys go that direction. All right, guys, this is what the hand controller looks like. It literally just plugs into your cigarette lighter and that's it. So that's how that thing looks. This is how you adjust it, what settings you want, how aggressive it is. And this is manually, if you want to manually engage the brakes. But pretty simple, but there it is. All right, guys, let's transition into working on the exhaust of this thing. We've got a major exhaust leak. I'm about to show you how bad it is, and let's get that situation fixed. All right, guys, we are up underneath the motorhome fixing exhaust. Hannah, we're always fixing exhaust on no matter what it is we own. What's up with that?
Every time.
Every time. We did it on the bus, now we're doing it on this thing. This thing we didn't want it to get jealous, so we had to fix exhaust on this thing too. Alrighty, guys, we're in the back of our motorhome. You see that black soot? We have a serious exhaust leak. Let's find it and fix it. Alrighty, guys, fix this up right here. We welded ourselves a 90 on here. All we done was cut it right here at the seam. This is where two 90s was welded together to make this 180 transition. And so we bought another 90, cut it right there, welded it up together, and to eliminate this and also eliminate this flex universal piece here too, to get rid of both of these clamps here. We just welded this on a little stubby piece down here, and this was literally the piece left over that got cut off over here on this end. So I was able to reuse our scraps there. So let's get this deal bolted on. Exhaust paint on this just to help keep it from rusting and stuff. That's just how I am. You don't have to do that. So anyways, now we just have one exhaust clamp on it now, and the V-band is over there, and it's looking pretty daggum good. All right, guys, we're up underneath our motorhome right now, and you can see the tip has came off of our motorhome. So all the exhaust is hanging out right down here. You can see all this black stuff under here, and all the exhaust fumes is going up into the inside of the motorhome. So we're wanting to cut this and get it extended out here to the side to at least get the exhaust outside the motorhome. So this is what we got planned for that. We're going 45 out, get this thing coming out here somewheres, and then cut it off. All right, guys, let's get this deal cut out with the Sawzall. We'll cut our tip off here with a porter band and clean it up on the belt center there. A couple of pipe clamps and a pipe hanger, and boom, we are in there now. Exhaust out the side, no longer in the cab of the motorhome. Boom. All right, guys, here we go. Exhaust sounds a lot better. Oh yeah. Bingo, bango. All right, guys, the exhaust is now fixed. Let's get on inside this motorhome here and let's fix and put a brand new air filter on this deal. We got a Wix filter. Let's get after it. All right, guys, a Caterpillar air filter replacement. Wix air filter, check that thing out. Let's get on into it. Well, by far, guys, this is the biggest canister air filter I've ever seen for a vehicle ever. So we've got it. There it is. More clamps you can shake a stick at. But
all right, guys, here we go. Brand new air cleaner is in. Boom, look at that big old thing. There we go.
Alrighty, guys and gals, that's going to be a wrap for today. I hope y'all enjoyed today's episode. I know we had a bunch of stuff we were working on all over the camper, front to back, up underneath of it, all kinds of good stuff. But we are hammered down. We're getting ready for August the 15th. Hopefully go run the full metal goat, and we are full send. So we got another episode that's going to be coming up right behind this, and that is putting in that air conditioner on the trailer. Let you guys see that. And then we've got some stuff going on the GTO too, so we're going to be getting prepped up and ready. So thank y'all for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Hopefully you guys will be seeing Jesse maybe in the next episode. He'll be coming back with us, and we'll be having a good time here. So you guys hang tight. Thank y'all for watching, and thank y'all for being subscribed. It helps out a ton. We'll see y'all at the racetrack hopefully real soon.